In the past, I've suffered with depression and I have ongoing anxiety.
I've had bouts of mental bad health, things like depression, anxiety, stress.
I was diagnosed with severe anxiety about a year ago.
I've previously suffered with anxiety and depression.
I was diagnosed in 1991 with clinical depression.
I was diagnosed with complex PTSD.
Have suffered from postnatal depression and depression in the past.
I have been trying to put myself out there a little bit more, and it's absolutely terrifying, and I feel sick. So before I meet new people, before I go on dates, before I do anything really, I try to do it. I feel really awful for like the first half an hour, but then actually it's almost like a sense of achievement that I've really done something that is a big deal for me. And I come away from it feeling you get like this sort of instant gratification, like, wow, I've done something really good. You have to put yourself out there, because otherwise you'll just shrink into, you'll become your mental health condition and let it control your entire life, whereas you just need to manage it the best you can.
Open up and talk to people, whoever they might be, whoever's good for you to talk to, friends, families. Sometimes actually go and see a professional, go and see someone who actually you have no connection with. That's something I did do once. Without opening up, you're not necessarily going to be able to sort of get to the right place.
I train 4 to 6 times a week in Muay Thai, and I've been doing that from pretty much about the same time that I was diagnosed. I also try to meditate every day. I know that helps me to manage it when I'm feeling overwhelmed, and it helps to distract my mind and kind of bring me back to myself.
When I opened up to my parents, my mum told me that she suffered with depression when I was 1 or 2 years old for a few months. And then my dad, he said he had it when he was sort of early 30s or something like that. And I since found out that in my closest circle of friends, about 4 of the 7 had had similar episodes. If I didn't open up about it at the time, I don't know what would have happened. I think I was just spiralling downwards, to be honest. It just wasn't a good place to be in. And I think that's what helped to open up and move forward, I guess, because you can't just sit and suffer through it alone.
I found for many years running was brilliant. So I ran. And it helped me to kind of get used to what was going on in my mind. And as I ran, by the end of the run, my mind was in a very different place.
If we don't talk about it, we're not managing it, and people that are left to deal with it on their own don't cope well, and it builds up and builds up to crisis point where they actually go off work sick.
Really important to know that whatever mental illness you have, it's part of you, makes you you and makes you unique. But it doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it doesn't have to stop you living. You just have to recognize when things aren't working and kind of put out your hand in whatever way you can.